Welcome to my paper slide presentation on Jean Piaget. Jean Piaget was a psychologist that focused on the developmental stages of children up to their teenage years. Piaget focused a lot on schemas. Schemas are the building block of learning. They help us organize our knowledge and understanding of the world. Assimilation and accommodation. Assimilation and accommodation are the processes of adaptation. Assimilation is using one schema to deal with a new object or situation. Accommodation happens when the existing schema does not match with the current situation. For example, here we have a sloth and a raccoon. If a child was looking at both of these pictures and knew that the sloth had dark circles or dark rounded shapes around its eyes and had a rounded nose and purple eyes in this case, in these pictures, then they could look at the raccoon picture and see that they have a very similar shape around the eyes and the nose. So assimilation would be looking at the sloth and the raccoon picture and saying that they are both the same animal. Accommodation would be using your knowledge of the sloth and then looking at the raccoon and saying, okay, this is different because the raccoon has ears in this picture. After accommodation has occurred, the child will experience what is called equilibrium. Equilibrium occurs when a new schema is created from an existing schema after the process of assimilation and accommodation. This is the order of how these events occur. You'll start with a new situation from existing schemas. When you start with one schema and you get to a new situation and you believe that it is similar, you'll experience disequilibrium because you know that the two are different. After you have experienced disequilibrium, you will then accommodate for the disequilibrium, and then you will go into assimilation, and that will then be put into your knowledge bank, and then you will experience equilibrium again. Along with theorizing how people think and the processes of how they learn, Piaget also came up with his 4 stages of development to show where the students would learn these things. Piaget's 4 stages of development are the sensory motor stage, which is from birth to 2 years old, the pre-operational stage, which is ages 2 to 7, the concrete operational stage, which is ages 7 to 11, and the formal operational stage, which is 11 years old and older. In Piaget's first stage of development, the sensory motor stage, the child will learn object permanence, which is knowing that an object still exists even if they are not able to see it. So for example, if I showed a child this pencil and then I put it behind my back, they would understand that the pencil was still there, but they just could not see it. In Piaget's second stage of development, the pre-operational stage, represented by this fox, children are able to think about things symbolically. So, again, if I used this pencil and said, this pencil symbolizes your ability to write, the child would know they are able to write or draw using a pencil and associate the pencil with writing. The child has egocentric thinking and will have difficulty taking viewpoints of others. Piaget's third stage, concrete operational stage, represented by this raccoon, the child is able to develop more concrete thoughts. They tend to think a little more abstractly, but not very much. They are able to work things out internally, rather than physically having to work things out. This is the beginning of their logical and analytical thought. Piaget's final stage of development is his formal operational stage, represented by this sloth. The formal operational stage will usually start around age 11 and will continue up until adulthood. This is when abstract thought tends to completely develop. Children in formal operational stage will tend to test their hypotheses in a logical manner. The end. Hope you enjoyed.